Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. So as you saw by the title of today's video, I am finally getting around to trying something that was so viral forever ago. And of course I missed the train. So I'm going to be trying the Juno Velvet Sponge, or Beauty Sponge, that went viral on Instagram and all over YouTube. Well, it seems like forever ago, and I never got to try it. So I went ahead and ordered one, and it came so fast. I think I ordered it, and it showed up at my house like 3 or 4 days later, like, hello! Unlike another makeup company whose things I've yet to review. This is what the packaging looks like whenever I pulled it out of this super cute and like shiny envelope. I literally haven't even opened it, I haven't touched it, I haven't done anything other than just look at it. I've had it for a few days. I've been too busy working to really get to play with it, so I wanted to sit down and test it out right here, live and in person with you guys. Like, this is live. Okay, so what are the benefits of using a velvet sponge? Let's read. So it basically says if you're looking for a more natural airbrush foundation finish, then this is your go-to sponge. It says it's made with velvet soft microfiber bristles with a slanted edge for controlled stippling. It says that it's made in China, blah, 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 distributed out of California. Okay, cool. So, let's stop screwing around and dive into this thing. Oh, it is so soft! I don't know what that was, but this is so soft. It feels so crazy! Okay, I love like the super flat edges. Like, bink. Just sits right there. This is him right here. Look at how cute! So let me go get this little guy wet and let us get started applying a foundation because I am curious. Okay, so it did get a decent bit more plump whenever I put it underneath the water. So the foundation that I'm going to be using today is one that I used to love so much and I just stopped using it just because so many others came out on the market, but this is an old favorite. So this is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer, and this is kind of perfect because you apply this directly to the face with their gigantic doe foot applicator. Let's go ahead and get started. I've already primed my face. I don't remember exactly how much to put on. I feel like I'm just kind of painting. Alright, enough with the painting. Let's see how this... What side do I want to use? I feel like I want to use this side. Okay, we're going to use this side. Ready? Hold my mirror close so I can see. Let's see how it works. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. The swiping, like, covers a lot. Like, look at that. Oh, well, I kind of ran out of product. I don't know what happened here. I just kind of pulled the foundation off of me. Okay, so first impression is I kind of felt like it really wasn't absorbing much of the foundation. Like, it was actually moving it around really well and actually pushing it into my skin, which is something I was not expecting because regular beauty sponges don't do that. Like, they also absorb some as well as push it around on your skin. So I feel like you could definitely use less makeup product. The whole swipiness is like kind of nice. I mean, you can do that with a regular sponge, but it kind of absorbs more and doesn't necessarily swipe it around. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side of my face really quickly and see how it goes. Another thought with this sponge is it is not bouncy, like at all. So there's the foundation completely pounced onto the skin. Now, first impression is it felt weird. It doesn't absorb very much product. It actually scoots it around on your face really well. Second impression is it's not bouncy, like, at all. So that's a little weird for me. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but it's just weird. You know, I'm not used to it. But something that I'm just really struggling with, and it's completely my fault and, like, my error, but it's also a learning curve, so, like, you know. I clearly have on way too much foundation. For this product, you definitely do not need to use the normal amount of foundation that you're used to. If you use a beauty sponge or anything like that, that would actually soak up part of your product. This seems like it barely soaks up anything, and I kind of feel like I look very cakey just because I have on too much. So, like I said, it's completely a learning curve. It's my own fault that it looks this way. As far as how it's blended into the skin, aside from there being too much, I think it looks very airbrushed. It looks very natural, as cakey makeup can be. So, with my personal errors aside, I think that it actually did a really good job. So I'm going to go ahead and put on some concealer and we're going to see how it performs while we apply that. I'm going to use this ColourPop concealer. I really like this. I've been using it a ton lately. And it's just a smidge off of my actual skin tone right now. So I think what I'm going to use is kind of the more rounded side for this. So let's see. Okay, so here we are with the concealer nice and blended in. I definitely preferred using the rounded side as opposed to the flat side to apply that. I felt like I had a little bit more control than I did with the flat side, so I really liked it. I tried to pounce everything together to try to decrease the cakiness a little bit, but I think what's honestly going to help the most is if I go ahead and set everything with powders, and then we'll kind of see how it looks after I do that. So let's get to powdering. I'm going to use the same products that I always use, so, you know, it'll be really quick. Just hang on. Okay, so now that I've got all my powders on, I definitely think it's helped a little bit as far as the cakiness. But I still do look a little bit cakey, but once again, it's my fault. But something that I did notice while I was powdering my face, which was not a good thing, is, can you see right here? That is all powder. And worst of all, it is my Hourglass translucent, like, under eye highlighting powder. Very expensive powder that this sponge is just keeping in its microfibers. So that's not good. That's not cool. So I do not recommend setting your under eye with this sponge. It is going to cling onto those little powders and not let you have them. So that's really upsetting. I had to use way more powder than I normally would to set my under eyes than I would with a normal beauty sponge. Dang, that sucks. That is so much powder. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then I will come back to you guys after I've got everything on to kind of give you my final thoughts as far as how everything else applies over top of this foundation layer. And we'll hear my final thoughts. So I went ahead and put on the rest of my face. Everything felt very cakey. Like, I felt like my powder, I couldn't just, like, where's the brush? I felt like I couldn't just normally do my regular brushing. I felt like I had to tap everything into place because I was fearful that I was going to move the foundation. Could be the fact that I put on way too much, or it could be the fact that maybe it's not in the skin as well. I really don't know. It's kind of hard to say, especially with being my first use ever with this sponge. So I think what I'm going to do before I can formulate a true opinion about how I feel, I think I'm going to have to clean it up, use it again with less product, and see exactly how it performs then. As far as how my skin looks, I do feel like I look very airbrushed. I do feel like I look very natural, as natural as I can look whenever I do feel as cakey as I do. I don't love the cakey feeling because whenever I use a regular beauty sponge, I don't feel that at all. As far as how my skin looks, I do think it does look phenomenal. The sponge did a great job doing that. But like I said, I really do feel like I need to give this thing a whirl again before I can formulate a true opinion as to whether or not it makes me feel cakey. So I'm kind of indifferent about it right now. I'm definitely going to keep using it and see how I like it moving on in the future. So definitely keep an eye out for future uploads to see how it's kind of going, and I will definitely provide you with some updated information then. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. The button to do so is right down below. Click the notification bar right next to it so you get notified every single time that I upload. Give this video a like if you enjoy trying out new products, testing new things, and first impressions. My Instagram information is going to be running across the bottom of the screen below. Please be sure to give me a follow over there so we can engage together. And there will be a tutorial coming out on this look right here featuring a brand new palette that I could not wait to try. That's all for this one, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!